Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Hey guys, Austin here with the Bourboneering podcast. We're here in the finals of the 2019-2020 Bourboneering bracket battle. So we have our American winner, a rye Whistle Pig 10-year Call Your Shot pick from Oak Point Fresh Market. And we have our world winner, a Scotch, the Brook Lottie Classic Lottie, the blue bottle at 100 proof. This is a matchup for it all. We've been through 3 bourbons, 3 ryes, 3 scotches, and 3 other whiskeys to come to a final 4, and from there, these last 2. Today, we're going to pick a winner. So just like in the final 4, I'm going to rate these 2 on the nose. I'm going to compare these 2 on the nose, pick a winner, compare the 2 on the taste, and pick a winner, and compare the 2 on accessibility if I need to, and pick a winner. Best 2 out of 3 on these winners will win the overall championship. This champion will get a highlight episode. It will have more information about the distillery, the bottle, maybe the store that picked it. We'll see who wins. But these are some heavy hitters. These are 2 of my very favorite whiskeys here. I've loved Brook Lottie. It's not a store pick, so it's common. But this pick from Oak Point, I love Whistle Pig 10 in general, but this pick from Oak Point is exceptional, and it is fantastic. And it's a little expensive, but I think it's worth the price. But without further ado, let's get into it. Starting with the Brook Lottie at the lower proof, 100 proof. The nose, we have that classic saltiness. We have some citrus, like I mentioned before. I get more of that butterscotch than I did last time, but it's like a salted butterscotch is my favorite note for this Brook Lottie here. Very similar to, I'm trying this a few hours after I filmed the final 4, so it's still fresh in my mind, and nothing's really changed over time. I've come back to it. I've had some crackers to cleanse my palate, plenty of water. Still the same notes, beautiful layers, very complex. You can tell each layer. It's like a tree ring. You can see each layer. They don't really mesh and hide behind each other. They're really, really clear. Now, looking at going toward this Whistle Pig, they're a little more blended. The layers are a little less obvious, although still there, very, very complex on the nose. Again, with that candy rye is the big note I get. Not much spice there. Candy, sweet candy, caramel, almost bourbon vanilla. Big notes like that. And then you get a little bit of oak. You get a little bit of rye bread in there, which definitely aren't off flavors, but they're not the big notes here. This is a tough one, y'all. I'm really going to have to give the nose just because it's a lot more prominent. I'm thinking of what I would want in a candle if I only can have one more candle for the rest of my life. It's kind of how I'm judging this. I'm going to have to go with the Whistle Pig pick, Call Your Shot on this one. It's tough. It's a tough decision. That's really, really close, but I'm going to go with that. Now let's move on and look at the taste. Again, I'm going to start with the Brook Lottie. With this Brook Lottie, it starts off with the sweet cherry that goes into a more medicinal cherry flavor that goes into a salted butterscotch, a little bit of caramel, even salted caramel there, and finally ends with a strong, salty, oaky finish that lasts and lasts for a 100 proof whiskey. Very, very good. I go to this every time. I said last time, I almost finished this bottle too early, so glad I didn't save some for the actual bracket battle here. But I could drink that all day. That's a beautiful flavor. It's not overpoweringly salty and smoky, but it's definitely there. Definitely there. It's an unpeated, so it's not peaty, but it has a little bit of a smoke note there for sure. All right, let's move on to the 119 proof Whistle Pig. The Whistle Pig definitely has a building flavor. I even got a little bit of a peanut butter note there, almost like a little bit of peanut butter spread on some rye bread toast. But the biggest note I get, again, I say it over and over again, is that candy rye, that almost red hot flavor with the cinnamon, rye spice, but sweet candy. Nothing too sharp, overpoweringly spicy. Again, nothing pickly, briny, none of that you get in some younger ryes. It's beautiful. There's no off flavors here. It's layered. It blends well. It's almost a bourbon at the end with that oaky, bourbony finish. Not quite as long as the finish as the Brooklotic, but it's sweet. It's good. Now, the taste here, I'm gonna have to bring it though. I'm gonna have to bring it to Brooklotic. I just like that saltiness at the end that kind of resets your palate. It's almost like eating a salty cracker in between. It makes you want to come back for more. Whereas this Whistle Pig, after you drink a few sips, it kind of sticks with you. It's almost like drinking a soda that the sweetness kind of builds and builds, and at the end you just kind of don't want to drink it anymore. You have to drink some water in between. I don't get that with the Brooklotic, and they're both amazing, and I'm just using that as kind of a tiebreaker. That's all I can do because they're both really, really good. So I'm gonna go with the Brooklotic on the taste. So we're on the nose we have the Oak Point Pick Whistle Pig, and on the taste we have Brooklotic, just by the skin of its teeth. So finally, for a tiebreaker, we have to look at the accessibility. And that's going to be pretty obviously Brooklotic. The Whistle Pig being pretty widespread now, but this one is a pick, which is hard to get, and it's also kind of expensive at about $72. The Brooklotic is priced right around $53 around here, anywhere between $50 and $60 nationwide, and it's pretty widely available anywhere with a decent Scotch selection. It's the baby blue bottle. Go pick you up some. And it is our 2019-2020 March Madness Bracket Battle champion for the Bourboneering Bracket Battle here. Lots of B's. It is your champion. It is the best of the best that I've had this year. So, congratulations to the Brooklotic Classic Lottie. I'm butchering the pronunciation, and I apologize for that. But it's going to get its own special episode. I'm going to highlight its distillery. I'm going to highlight the bottle, the different things behind that, and talk about this winning whiskey a little bit more in detail. So keep an eye out for that. It's going to be coming in a couple weeks. I have some great interviews lined up. I've been working on. I've been having some free time, so I've been working on some cool stuff for you guys. Anyway, thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you next year for the Bourboneering Bracket Battle. Until then, I'll see you next week with some more episodes. See y'all next time. Cheers. Thanks for listening, guys. If you enjoyed the podcast, make sure you subscribe on whichever player you're using. Leave a comment and leave a 5-star review if you can. Once you've done that, go follow me on Instagram at Bourboneering or on Twitter at InBourbon, or go like our Facebook page, Bourboneering. All this, as well as my Prestige Decanter affiliate link and a link to sign up for a weekly newsletter, are all below. Thanks for listening, everybody. Cheers.